Hey everyone, I just finished watching the first episode of Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. I'm going to be doing vlog type videos for all the episodes of Lightspeed that I watch. My thoughts on the first episode of Lightspeed: it was a really good, really strong opening for the season of Lightspeed Rescue. One really weird thing at the beginning, like before the theme song, we don't get to see any of the actual characters. We see these couple of guys walking through the desert. We see some things pop out of a casket that they find in a tomb in the desert. None of that shows up in the actual show, except for the things that came out of the casket, maybe. I'm not really sure what it was that came out, but it doesn't look like Diabolico and the bad guys. But anyway, the episode starts off, the Rangers are all recruited in a way very similar to Operation Overdrive. Now in Overdrive, we see each of the main Rangers, a little bit of their personal lives. We get kind of a feel for their personality, and we get each one gets a message from Hartford telling them they're Rangers. And here it's very similar, except here it's two guys in suits going up and telling everybody that they have to come with them. They're all brought to the Aqua Base. They become Rangers. They're given their morphers. We meet Captain Mitchell. We don't meet Miss Fairweather yet in the first episode. We don't get to see the Zords in the first episode. When we see the villains' whole exposition and introduction is very fast-paced. It's just boom, 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 and done. And then they're never seen again in the episode. It's very weird how rushed the villain introduction is, but I guess maybe they figured they wanted to get back to the Rangers. Anyway, I was thinking of something to say, now I don't remember what I was going to say. Anyway, back to the Rangers in the Aqua Base. Oh, now I remember. Captain Mitchell tells the Rangers about the history of the demons, and he says that years ago there was an ancient warlock who locked them up in the tomb. And the warlock in the show, he's shown to be an old guy in a robe with a beard, and the first thing I thought of was, oh, King Lexian. But no, it's probably not. I don't know if Lexian was ever on Earth. Oh, and also, in the footage, they show the warlock guy, he turns into the stone statue that's right next to the tomb. Now, if this was a more popular season, I know for sure the comics would try to retcon that warlock into being an ally of Zordon or something. So then, let's see, so yeah, there's that. Oh, and then the monster that the Rangers fight in the first episode, I didn't even realize this until I looked it up on Wikipedia. It's a repainted version of Psycho Red's monster form. I never realized that, but knowing that now and looking at it, it's so obvious. But it never really occurred to me, because the monster, it's a fire monster. It looks like it's made out of flames. The theme fits perfectly. And also, Psycho Red's monster form isn't seen that much. It's not that memorable either. In fact, in the Psycho Ranger story arc, when they turn into the monsters, that's when I was kind of I don't really care. I didn't really care about them when they turned into just generic monsters. I liked them better when they were evil Rangers. So, this is a really cool use, reuse of an old suit. It's far better than what they would do in future seasons, where they would reuse costumes and it would be very obvious. They would make no alterations to them and just act like we're not supposed to remember that these things were characters with a story. Whereas this, very clearly, Psycho Red's monster form definitely wasn't that big of a deal, and they repainted it and reworked it enough so that it does look like its own thing now. Anyway, back to the episode. The Rangers defeat that monster, they go back to the Aqua Base, and they're like, yo, Captain Mitchell, we defeated Diabolico, and Captain Mitchell's like, that wasn't Diabolico. Now, how does he know what Diabolico looks like? Anyway, yeah, so then that's where it ends, and I really like this episode. It's a really cool, really strong start for a new era of the show. We're no longer in the Zordon era. We're firmly in the post-Zordon era. Lost Galaxies, still had the hangers-on, Alpha, the mega ship, and pretty much the only thing that's kept in Lightspeed from the past seasons is terminology. Morphers, Zords, I don't know, the gun's called blasters still. So anyway, yeah, that's all that's kept. And it's a controversial thing. I've heard rumors about Originally, there were different ideas for Lightspeed. Like, one of the rumors was that Billy was going to be the one who created the Lightspeed powers, and there was another thing talking about how the Lightspeed powers exist because the government intercepted the wreckage of some of the old Zords. Like, when Rito destroyed the Thunder Zords, the government came in, got some of those pieces, they had some scientists study it, and develop their own Power Ranger powers based on those. And I thought that would have all been really cool. Like, even for a new fan who hadn't seen the previous seasons, I think that would provide, like, a sense of legacy and, like, a sense of history. It's kind of similar to, like, Transformers Beast Wars, where, like, I'm a fan of Beast Wars. I'm not really that big of a fan of Transformers as a whole, just Beast Wars. But I always like when they do reference things that happened in the past from old Transformer shows, because it gives it a sense of there's a wider world, and, you know, not everything is just happening here. This isn't the most important thing that's ever happened or ever will happen, and other things are still going on. It just helps make the world feel a lot more full when you're allowed to reference things, but in Lightspeed they wanted to separate it from the previous seasons to be more like Sentai, or to make it more accessible, or whatever. And that's fine, I guess, and it turned out for the best, I guess. Whatever. Anyway, before I start rambling, I'm gonna end it now. See ya.